Good evening and welcome to our crafting session this evening. My name's Jenny McCormac. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, and that's here in the UK. A warm welcome to you. It is Friday the 28th of June 2024. Thank you for joining me. I'm not normally here on Friday, but I had to reschedule our live session, which normally takes place on a Thursday evening at 7 p.m, because my daughter had turned up unexpectedly and surprised me yesterday, and I didn't like to say to her that I was due to go live because I don't see her very often. And so I had a nice meal with her, and we were doing a little bit of sorting out the stuff she needed to take with her. So apologies that we weren't here live yesterday, but we are here now. So our stamp set of the week is this fabulous Spotlight on Nature. Not complicated, it's literally 7 stamps. 2 of those are sentiments. So we have Dear Friend, which I've cut up into 2 stamps. So I've got Dear and Friend. We've got a nice Thanks. We've got 3 main images. We've got some dots and a little sort of crosshatch design on there as well. And this is part of a bundle, and the dies that go with it, for a change, don't actually cut out these elements, but they cut out these lovely circles. So concentric circles. There are 12 dies altogether, and I've cut them in different colours so you can see how they layer. And obviously you can, they're not in any particular order. There's one set that has this little sort of hatch all the way around, and you'll see that 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, in 4 of those. And then you have this one with the little like almost like a fleur-de-lis, which is in 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have this other pattern here, which you can see maybe a little bit more clearly here and on the red, and there's 4 of those. So there's 4 each of 3 different designs. Hi lovely Lynn, and good evening Fran as well. How lovely to have you both joining us. So those are the dies, and at the moment, literally with 2 days to go, all of our stamp and die bundles are available at an extra 10% discount. So Stampin' Up automatically give you 10% discount if you buy stamps and dies as a bundle using the bundle item number. But for the month of June, they're effectively giving you 20%. So if you have any bundles on your wish list, then don't hesitate to pop an order through if you can before Sunday. There are, I think, 2 bundles that are not currently available. One is the Round We Go. That's the one that makes the little rosettes, and the other one has completely slipped my mind. I checked it earlier on this afternoon and now I've forgotten it, but it's not this one, and it's not the popular Layers of Beauty either. Hi Babsy, thanks for joining us. So oh, let me show you the cards already made this week. So you will have seen 2 of them earlier. So this one here uses that lovely new embossing folder. Hopefully if I just tilt it you can see that. It's got those lovely dots on the embossing folder, and I've just literally stamped the flowers on there and used that embossing folder. I've got so many Try not to bore you actually. I'll just show you a few. This one here uses, oh that's it, that's the one that's short, is the lily pad bundle. So the lily pond with the frogs and everything else. So that is the other one that's not currently available as of this afternoon, I should say. Hi Vivian. But obviously that can change very, very quickly. So I really do like, I think these dies are really useful, and the stamps are, it's one of those sets, as I describe, it just does. Whatever you do with it, it looks nice. It's got shading inbuilt, so you don't have to worry too much about colouring. You can use it with lots of different techniques. You could stamp and use watercolours, you could use watercolour pencils, you can stamp this for a background, you could use just the butterflies, and obviously these two really useful little stamps for filling any gaps you may have. And these are in the annual catalogue at, as I say, 20% discount. So here's a couple of samples. Here's another one that I did at Coffee and Card this afternoon. That's just waiting to be mounted up. And if I get them out of my packet. Here's the one I did live on Monday morning. That was the one, had to think about that. Oh, white heat embossing the leaves. Oh, and then brushed it in soft sea foam. Oh, stunning, Fran. I'd love to see a sample of that. And I saw another one where this was done in white as well, but I can't remember who'd done that one. So here's another variation with that lovely embossing folder. And then this one here with the flowers that I wanted to make look a little bit like poppies was the one I did at Coffee and Card on Tuesday morning, and then I've added this on the inside, and I think I did that on a couple of the others. This one here, for example, and also you could colour those in as well if you wanted to. Okay, so my card this evening actually is going to be similar to this one. And it is, no, I just did that, but I'm going to do a similar one now, Fran, with the butterfly. I did just hand stamp it. I didn't use a Stamparatus, and it was pure luck that that fitted. I did add the leaves in afterwards to fill in the gaps, but I just used the top of that stamp here. And if you wanted more, I guess you could use this end of the stamp as well, or you could alternate them. But this afternoon, one of my ladies, who also happens to be one of our lovely team, and that is Michelle, did a fantastic card with the butterflies going around. So I'm going to recreate that, but use some different papers. I'm still going to make a square card. These papers here are called Full of Life. And pure talent, I think it was pure luck actually. So I thought it would be really nice with the butterflies going round to match it with some of these lovely papers that have got multicolours. So let me just show you these quickly. So this is one side of the paper, and these are all like a watercolour wash. So what I was thinking of doing is wherever I put my butterflies on there is to then colour in according to the colours of the paper behind it. So that's my theory. So there's one with just 3 colours. This one's lovely with the pinks and the oranges, blues, greens and into yellow, pinks again. That would be quite a nice one to do, because that would definitely work. Reds and pinks, and then blues and greens. So I could choose one of those sides, or rather you could. Or I could choose one of these. So I think these might be too busy, but I was thinking if I can find the die cut. So I want to use the die cut from the same set so it all coordinates. And remember, if you order the bundle through me or the stamp set, then you'll get all the components. So I was thinking I could do this, for example, have my butterflies going round and colour coordinate those with the backing. Okay, that's my theory. So we've got this one, we've got this one, that one, another one with the squares, another one like that. These remind me of like nail charts. Sorry. Or there's that one there. So what do you think in terms of which one I should choose? So I'm thinking possibly either of those two, and then let me look at the others. There's that one, or that one, really. I think Michelle fitted in 5. So I could do butterflies like that and have more of them, but Michelle had the wings at the outside. And I'm pretty sure she had 5. I'm going to have a quick look at my photograph and see what she had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me know what you think. Which would be the best. I'm just going to pop these little bits out before we start. So if I do this, 1, 2, you can just about still see that, 3, 4 or 5, I need you to vote which one I should use as my backing while I just pop out those little bits. Oh, there we go. Hi Teresa. Are you still away, Teresa, or are you back now? I think it must be, I know you're due back imminently, ready to send your class in a box. And if you're watching while you're on holiday, then I'm very impressed. Okay, so I'm just going to pop these pieces out. So 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Let me know your preference. I'm going to pop this in the centre. I will need to cut this down slightly. And then I'm going to stamp the butterflies around the edge. And then colour them in according to the paper behind. So completely inspired by the lovely Michelle from our team. She did a great job. Okay, let's get rid of these little bits. So let me know if you have a preference. I can be stamping the butterflies out in the meantime, and then I will add a sentiment in the middle. Michelle stamped her sentiment first, which was extremely sensible, but I'm going to do my butterflies first. So 1, 2, hopefully that's still in the picture, yes, 3, 4 or 5. Let me grab this, let me grab my ink pad. So I'm going to stamp it in early espresso because I'm going to colour in, but you could use Pebbled Path, you could use black if you wanted to, or you could use Night of Navy, especially if you're doing an all over blue navy design. So Let's make sure that is inked, and I'm just going to stamp this quite close. Now obviously you could use any circle die cut for this, but I want to show the stamp set and the dies together. So let's see. And again, I'm just guesstimating it, and hopefully it will fit. I didn't check on my photo to see how close she put them together. Or how far from the edge. She may have had hers a little bit further to the edge, I don't know. Let's bring this up a bit so you can see it. There we are. So I've got 5 butterflies going round, not particularly evenly spaced. I could have had this one a little bit further round, but I'm happy with it. It's hand stamped. Let's find a small sentiment for you or something like that. I've got a just for you here, or best of luck. It needs to be fairly small. Put in the middle. Back to the cold. Oh bless you, Teresa. It is colder than where you've been, that's for sure. But it's quite, other than that, when you're not used to hot weather, it's actually been quite pleasant. Okay, now just for you is going to fit in there nicely. And I am going to stamp that butterfly on the inside of my card. So I pre-cut my card, if I can find it. So I put it somewhere very safe, underneath my phone, like you do. So while I'm here, I'm going to add that butterfly on the inside. So this measures 29 centimeters by 14.5. Okay, let's have the butterfly at a bit of an angle there on the right hand side, and let's also pop one on the envelope. So I'm just turning the flap up so it's not in the way, and also so I know it's in the right place. Okay, pop those away. No? Yes. Okay, let's work out which way looks best, because I know those are a little bit closer together, so I think I'm going to do that and have my just for you fitting in there. So any suggestions for the sheet choice? Oops. Let's just give that a bit of an option. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. And funny enough, I've got 5 butterflies. And the nice thing about this, of course, is it doesn't really matter if my stamping isn't straight, because I can just rotate it round. So there we got just for you with our butterflies. So this is going to be cut down to fit. So I've got this one here. So I've got oranges, yellow to green. I've got this one that could be blues, green, or I could do it this way. Blue, green and a bit of yellow on this edge. It's quite striking actually, that one, isn't it? And then we've got one of these two, that obviously works really well because you can choose those colours, that one or that one. So blues and greens, or finally this one here. So blues, pinks at the top, green. So if nobody chooses, I'll have to choose for you. So I'm thinking one of these two because it works really well with that round, and I think probably this one. I think. Okay. Right. So what I might do is actually leave that on there to help me. And what I might just do is put a tiny bit of glue on it, like that. Starburst Greens, this one. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Fran. This one, I think you mean, yes. So, I hope everybody's had a good week. By the way, I can't believe we're at Friday. Can't believe we're at the end of June. All of those things. So, just put a tiny bit of glue behind that. I'm probably going to put that on dimensionals anyway. But it will just give me a better idea for my colouring. So I've got blues over here. Let's start with that. I do need to dig through some of my pens to find what I'm looking for, because I want balmy blue. Bear with me 1 second. Right, I've got my light blues here. So we've got a bit of balmy blue, a bit of Lost Lagoon. So let's do a bit of sort of pool party here. So let's start with balmy blue. Which are almost certainly at the bottom of the pile. Do you find that? Or is it just me? Okay. So let's just bring out some blues. There's a bit of pool party going there. Let's grab the greens at the same time. So up here we've got sort of granny apple parakeet party, something like that going on. So let's do this. It's a bit methodical for me, isn't it? Granny apple. And here. And Lost Lagoon up in here. Hi Sandra. Thanks for joining us. Hope you've had a good week. I know you're celebrating Julie's birthday and what have you. I've got a bit of summer splash going on here. There. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 butterflies. So that needs to be, there's more green at the top. So that one. May not need that one. And maybe parakeet party or lemon lime twist over here. Okay. Something like that, give or take. so let's start down here. I might do a little bit of green at the top. So this, I've got dark pool party, light pool party. I need to take my glasses off though. So this is dark pool party. And you can do as much detailed colouring in as you wish. You can separate out these elements of the wings if you want to. I know that you don't need to sit and watch me colour all night long, so going to do that, and then just pick up a darker green at the top. Okay, so I've got that there. Actually, you could do with a little bit of light loss lagoon here, because this has got a bit of green in it. So I'm not doing detailed colouring really. You could obviously go to town with your colouring. Right, let's go lighter blues over here. So this is an old colour, but it's still going, so I'll still use it. This is light seaside spray, yes. And I'm trying to think when this was in colour. Quite a while ago. Certainly 2 years. Okay, now I want a slightly warmer blue. Going up. Let's try this one. So this is coming into this sort of colour here. Like that. I might blend those two together. Like so. Right, let's pick up some green here. So we have sort of, I've got dark parakeet, dark lemon lime twist, let's see. So this is light granny apple. So I'm going to start with that in the centre, like that. And by the way, I'm just making this up as I go along. Simple as that. There we go. Because I'm not doing anything detailed, I'm just actually using the larger brush tip at this point. Just for speed. Okay, now we can take that a little bit darker. So I've got dark lemon lime twist, which I'm hoping you'll just see on there. So hopefully that's coming together. Alright, and then I'm going to start with that one here, and then I've got dark and light granny apple. So I missed a little piece there. I punched it out, but I think it's popped back in again like they do. Okay. So this is dark granny apple, and then I need to sort of introduce maybe shy shamrock or something, or seaside spray or something. Hello Trudy. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm not normally here on a Friday, but a wonderful surprise by my daughter yesterday, and it was too good an opportunity not to spend time with her. So I had to postpone my live from yesterday. Okay, so this is Lost Lagoon, that nice sort of sea blue green colour, and then this is Summer Splash. Not far off that, is it? Let's start with the light. Like so. And that one maybe. And I've got light shy shamrock, which has got a bit of a green tint to it, so I'm hoping that this will bring that in. So I hope Michelle is watching, or watches later, to see what her inspiration produced. Okay. And then I'm going to go light again here, like that. Now, if you didn't have this paper is fabulous. It's called Full of Life. You could, of course, create your own background, either with a mask or with strips of card, and do the same thing, or a similar thing. Okay, and this is Dark Pool Party. Like so. I might just introduce that here. Now if I thought about it well in advance, I could have chosen the colours and done the bottom part in one colour and then onto the next, and then link that up, but I think you get the gist of what we're doing, hopefully. I want this to be a little bit more blue, so I don't know what I've done with my balmy blue pens. I put them somewhere, probably, because we're using them for sky. Let me see. Let's use this Dark Pool Party. I've got 3 Dark Pool Parties going on here. So maybe just another layer of this Seaside Spray. It's almost got a purple tone to it, this one. There we go. If I find my balmy blue pens, which I will in due course, I will add those. What do you think? Do we like that idea? Okay, all the pens. So the other option I could have done, maybe I'll do this on Monday at Coffee and Card, is this one, which is blues into purples. I think it does really work with that starburst design, doesn't it? But you could use something like that on the back. Okay, so I have my base card, so I'm just going to cut this down to fit. So this measures 29 by 14 and a half, cut from thick basic white card. So it does effectively use nearly a whole piece of A4. Okay, so let's measure this. This will be 15 and a little bit because it's 6 inches. Okay, so what I'm going to do to make sure it's even all the way around is I want it to be about 14. So I'm going to take ½ centimetre off each side so that it's even, because if you only take it off one side, this centrepiece is not going to be in the centre anymore. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 7. Yes, that one. Just making sure I'm cutting the right one. These papers are so useful for all sorts of different designs because they are multicoloured and they suit men and women. So I think I'd like a bit more of a border, and I'm almost tempted to put it on a layer of black. Let me have a quick look. So having had our craft day last Saturday, which went down really well, and 3 lots of coffee and card and a class this week, I'm pleased to say I have a quiet weekend. Not completely quiet, you understand, but fairly quiet. I have got all of the components ready for my class in a box, and they're mostly ready to go. I just need to put the embellishments and the printed instructions in, and then they're all good to go. What do we think? With the black? I think so. Otherwise it gets a little bit lost on there. So what I'm going to do is cut this to 14. So, and then trim that piece down again. Now I'm adding this extra piece in. And again, I'm going to take it from each of the edges. So this measures just a little bit over 14. So I'm just using the ½ centimetre measure here. And so I don't get lost, I started on the greens and I'm going to work round counterclockwise, of course, just like you do. And the last one. Hopefully that will be enough. Does that look in the middle? We'll soon find out, won't we? Okay, that is going to go on there. Yes, that's going to go onto our base white card, and then this is going to go on top. Okay, so let's just pop these layers together. I'm just going to use for speed. This is lovely, this colour. I haven't used the Full of Life papers for a class yet. Okay, still think that looks short on one side. I'll have to watch the video back and see if I turned it round. Well, it might be a millimetre out, but it's nothing more than that. Okay, so let's make sure I get this the right way round. Like so, wasn't it? Yep. So that's opening with my butterfly on the right hand side. Again, just some seal, but you could use glue, you could use double-sided tape, really whatever your preference is. That one there. Thank you, Teresa. So if you bought my paper share, you will have some of this full of life paper. I think actually it was the paper share amount that I may have had left. Okay. Right. This is going to go on, and I'm going to put that with dimensionals. Question is, do I need to put anything in there? Shall I just leave it? I think I'm just going to leave it. I might put some bling in there, but I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. Hunting for my scissors. And because it's quite a large area, I'm going to use the edge of the mini dimensionals. This is quite handy because it has quite a big border, because I do want to support this all the way around, and a bit in the middle. Okay, so obviously this took a little bit longer, choosing the papers and doing the colouring, but you could choose a piece of paper that's got just two colours, or you could do a monochrome version, which I did here. And again, I just stamped, I didn't measure them out, so that's got 6 of the larger flowers. This has got 5 of the butterflies. And if you wanted to do it accurately, you could of course do it on a stamping platform and turn it round. But just to show you that you can just stamp it with a little bit of gut feel. Okay, bring that down so I can see what I'm doing, making sure my sentiment is hopefully fairly straight, and there we go. What do we think? Did that work? I think it did. So thank you to Michelle for the idea. Well, seeing it in person definitely helps, doesn't it, knowing that 5 fitted. I could have done a little bit more lining up, but I'm not going to worry about that, because it is hand stamped and it's going to be sent out. And our final touch is I'm going to add some Wink of Stella. I can find some scrap. Make sure it's working, which it is. So don't forget, if you have a new Wink of Stella, it has a little black ring around it, so you need to undo the barrel, remove the ring, and then it's a bit like an old-fashioned cartridge pen. It'll only work then when you screw it together. It'll release the Wink of Stella glitter. And do make sure that if it's been left for a while, that you give it a good shake, because the glitter in the mica is suspended in the liquid, and if you just leave it, for example, like this, stood up, when you come to use it, there won't be any glitter at the top. So I'm just going to pop over this little area here, like so, and for the blue. Now it will pick up a little bit of the ink, not the alcohol marker ink, but in this case the early espresso. Hopefully you can see that shining like so, and then that will go all glittery as it dries. Always difficult to photograph. I try photographing it and it never looks as good as it is in real life. Okay, so this is the Summer Splash and the Shy Shamrock butterfly. You can really see it on the darker colours actually, I'm hoping. I'll try and do a photograph in the sun tomorrow if we have some sun. There we go. So if you're waiting for my June class in a box, that will be coming out. Probably won't get them picked up tomorrow. I will get them picked up Monday, so you should have them Tuesday, Wednesday. There we go. And Teresa, you'll have a double box plus all your extra goodies. So there we are. I hope you like them. That's my finished card. I will tag Michelle because it was her idea that gave me the idea on this paper. So I hope you approve. So this is Spotlight on Nature. Don't miss out. It's a lovely stamp set. I mean, these are just fantastic details, and you could just use this and the butterfly like somebody did today. Carol did that. And you've got friend and thanks, and then these useful little background stamps. So the stamp set you can buy on its own, but if you buy it at a bundle before Sunday, and that's up to and including Sunday, then you'll get an extra 10%. Thank you, Lynn. I really appreciate your lovely comments, and Fran and Teresa, Trudy, Sandra, and anybody else who have I missed. Hopefully nobody. It's always difficult to tell online because people can watch without logging on, so there's no names. So if I haven't mentioned you, I apologise. And do have a great weekend. As I say, I've got my class in the box to put together the final bits and pieces, and hopefully relatively relaxed. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a great weekend. I hope you have a good week ahead. I shall be back Monday morning with a new stamp set of the week. I hope you'll join me then. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Good night. Bye bye.